Okay, so we're doing one of our favourite contracts. We have a few different contractors that do dehumidifiers and sump pumps in crawl spaces. So we always get to have a little bit of fun. It's lovely when they're encapsulated like this. We're not crawling through mud, so we're grateful for that. We're just doing a brand new 20 amp circuit, which is in yellow colour, which will go through to our meter base, along to our point over there. If you actually notice here, and come along, while I crawl a little sexily, this light bulb here is smashed off inside of it, so we'll just get that taken off. You should test things before you do stuff like touching them. It's not very professional. But when you've been doing the job for as long as I have, sometimes you forget. So, oh, it's gonna look so cool. Come on for Harrison. There you go. Get that out. There's a little extra service. That I'm going to charge like $400 just for doing that. You know, that's electrician prices. You saw me do that work. That was like 30 seconds worth of work. We're not charging anything for that. So we'll put our box in and keep watching. La, 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 la. Sometimes I like to do the Michael Jackson look. That's the one glove, because I like the feel of having my fingers touch certain things. And I like the safety of having one hand I can put in, you know, toxic materials and only slightly hurts. So it's a look, you can judge it, but we will live our lives and I'm living mine. All right, she's stripped, she's bare, she's ready to be inserted into her next box. Like 90 to 97% of all of construction work is just sexual innuendo. It's important that you know that when watching any sort of channel like this. And if they're not making those jokes, they're not a professional when they don't know what they're doing. So bear that in mind. Outlets over here. So let's do it over there, shall we? Well, I want the people to be able to see. So let's do it here. By the power of Grayskull. What would you do if you found out you were related to Jared Leto? Moving on. It's important when doing stapling that you hit at least 2 of the fingers when doing it. The real code here, taking away from that hilarious joke, is within 6 inches of the actual box. So I want to do that staple there. Staple. You want to make sure, as you're stapling, that you're being careful of any other pipes. Give yourself loops where you can. And make sure to staple like a pro. Didn't even hit any of the fingers. Blah, 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 blah. Strip it good. Twist around it, get a little bit of it naked, and slide it on in. I always like to attach the ground first. The reason for this is, if it's ever energized, in theory, having the ground done first means that you should be protected. That, of course, is a British code, but normally for that to work, you have to have circuit breakers that function properly, and you're asking too much here, so still, it's a good practice to do. The live, but I just did the live before I did the neutral. So it's a mad Monday, getting crazy up in this hizzo. One of the greatest and easiest mistakes you can do when making a GFI outlet, or connecting one up as I say, however I say it, is that you need to look on the back for the terminations. What you'll see, biggest mistake everyone makes whenever you do a GFI, the back will have load side and then supply side. Sometimes when you're doing 6 of them, or you're having a long day, or you're just a human making a mistake, you'll connect into the load side and then it won't come on. So making sure that your supply goes to your supply and your load goes to load is important. What the supply companies love doing as well, a great thing they love doing, is each year when they release the new brand of GFI, they'll swap them around, you know, just for fun, just for funsies. And so a lot of people will buy a GFI, change one at their house, not realise the supply and load are swapped, and then they turn it on and it doesn't work. And then I get a lovely little call out and make a couple $100. So that's always a fun one. Sometimes I can get them to reset it over the phone, but generally they have to call me out. So we're thankful for the work. Not thankful to the supply companies, you bastards. All right, we're in. Let's screw. Just like the suppliers. We like to get screwed. This is where being a Wolverine helps. Not a huge jacked man. He's 6 foot. It's just ridiculous. In the comics, the dude's like 5'5", 5'7". You know, similar to me. He's a little bit shorter than me. But yeah, fits nicely in cool spaces.
There are advantages to the shortness. Not many, but there are a few.
Well, I mean, the great thing about not being a lanky streak of piss is that I don't have all those health issues from growing wrong. I know this one dude who grew, and like when he was like 17, 18, his lung collapsed because his whole body grew too quickly and his lung couldn't have it and it just went in. So we do love a lanky boy, but they come with, you know, they're like that breed of puppy. What is it, the big ones that die really quickly?
Great Danes.
Yeah, there you go. You can have a Great Dane, but
Not gonna have it for long.
exactly. You're gonna get your heart broken, just like a 6 foot tall man. Let's go to the breaker. Praise be unto Jesus. There were spaces today. It was right next to it. The other panel was in the garage, which is the complete other side of the house. And so first we were looking there before we found this. So that means the circuit was a lot shorter. The run was a lot easier. Less materials, less time. For once, I get a win. Shouldn't be saying it out loud because something's going to happen in a minute, but we're blessed, we're thankful, and we're grateful. Now, because we're at the meter base, my grounds and my neutrals are joined together. So my ground and my neutral are going to go to the same point, and the breaker will connect to the bus bar. I can't put the ground and the neutral together on the same wire, on the same neutral, on the same terminal. That's against code. So they have to go on different screws, but I am putting them into the same bar. Gig. Okay, the ground's in. Now I've just got the neutral to go. All right, my grounds and my neutrals are terminated. I just have the actual breaker itself, which I'm doing. Today I'm operating on savage American levels and using an uninsulated screwdriver. Let's see how people argue about that. What's rage baiting?
Can't see past your big head.
Slots on. Pushes in. Clank, click, connect. Turn it on, it explodes. Now don't forget as we're doing this to take the blank here. Put that into our pink trash. One screw to rule them all, and the darkness bind them.
I hope there's a bunch of nerds that watch and get all our... Because
One day-
we've referenced
What?
Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings, Grace, He-Man.
I know what I'm about, and I know my audience. We can see the red light for the GFI is on. Now, first thing to do is turn it on. Clunk click. Every trip. Testy. Yep, she works. Plug her in again. Yep, we're good. Now let's plug the equipment in and see her run. Uno,
On she came.
dos, tres. Can you do Spanish numbers with the most English accent ever? I mean, if I have to.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. How's that?
Perfect. Perfect. Do we turn you on? Press on off to turn on. That's how you do that.
Wild.
Crazy.
Guessed.
She's on. To reset. See what I'm doing right now? It's a thing not a lot of people do. I'm reading the instructions and I'm doing what they tell me. I know. Let's go back. So we've done the first one. Now, are we going to change the settings? This isn't what an electrician's for. We just make sure this works and then we immediately avoid all responsibility whatsoever. And we go back to the contractor and we say, yeah, I plugged it in, but I didn't dare do any of the other stuff to make sure it functions. Service required. Okay. To reset, clean filter. Nothing ever works the first time. First you gotta figure something out.
Look at those manuals. You know what those are?
Sometimes. See back at this cover for error code explanation. Alrighty. I would like to see the back of you. E7, float switch open.
What's a float switch?
Let's find out. Cool, sorry. So, one little phone call to the contractor. Thank you very much, my steady assistant. And of course, the brand new thing that's plugged in probably doesn't work. So the condensate pump is what he thinks is going to need to be replaced. So that happens a lot with construction. Brand new things that you buy just don't work properly and you have to go and get another one. So that's American quality for us and that's what we're living with. But my outlet's done, my job's done. So that's how we live things here as well. I'm all right, so I'll be fine. But it'd be cool if we turned things on and they work while we did it. That's just not how it works at the moment. Anywho, job done. On to the next one.